Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Orlando, and you want to know, how do you win a bid when you're putting in an offer on a house? Like, how do I guarantee that I will win this bid? And I'm here to tell you. This is how you win a bid, guys. If you offer $50,000 to $60,000 over the asking price, I can almost guarantee you that you will win your bid. I mean, that's just the way things are going right now. So if you want to win a bid, you can do that. But I'm here to tell you my opinion, right? Obviously. But don't do that. Why don't we want you to overpay on a property? It is because you shouldn't. You shouldn't overpay for a property because it will put you in a situation down the line. When I say down the line, I'm talking about by the end of this year, beginning of next year, if we do have a downturn. And I'm only going to talk if. If we have a downturn, do you want to be caught in between that? Do you want to be caught in between you overpaying for a property and then a market dropping or everything normalizing? Because we know the reason why the market is like it is right now. Low inventory, lumber prices are skyrocketing, right? So if those things get back to normal with the pandemic, scaling down with the vaccine, what do you think is going to happen to prices? There should be more houses popping up, right? There should be, quote unquote, less demand because unemployment, all this income that's coming into the economy, all this money that's coming into the economy will be, going down. So if all of those things happen and a crash, quote unquote, does not happen, you will still be better off. You will still be better off. But if a crash does happen, which I am projecting that it will sometime by the end of this year, beginning of next year, if that happens, you will be underneath your house, guys. You don't want that. And a lot of times right now, this video that I'm trying to do is it's a cautionary video. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because a lot of people are overpaying. But let me give you a scenario where you could still win in this market. You go ahead and you offer and you buy a property at the actual purchase price, right? The actual cost of the house, like what is actually they're asking for, you offer that to them. More than likely, when you get it appraised, it's going to be higher than that just because of the type of market we're in. I can almost guarantee you that there's a house down the street or somewhere around the block that sold more than what that house is worth. So you will automatically have equity injected into that property. Now, here's the thing. The seller won't see that appraisal because it's your appraisal and you will already have been under contract. So that money is yours. But if you overpaid for it, you know what's going to happen? You're going to see that appraisal, and then one of two things is going to happen. Either the appraisal will be less than what you're paying for, and you will have to come up with the difference, or you will see that the appraiser just puts the house exactly for what you're purchasing it for, which means that, you're not having any built-in equity. And we want you to have built-in equity in this market. You could still find great deals, but do not feel the pressure to go ahead and overpay because you want a piece of this American dream, which is owning a home. Once again, guys, like I said in previous videos, when you're making a decision and you're being rushed into that decision, the decision that you make will 9 times out of 10 not be the decision that you would have made if you had proper time to prepare for it. And don't feel rushed into this scenario. When you get into these bidding wars with other buyers, it can almost feel like you have to say yes to win, right? You want to win. And once you do that, you're going to get caught up in wanting to win. In essence, it's kind of crazy, but once you want to win, you actually lose, guys. You actually lose because, you're going to get into this eBay mentality auction where you want to win and you're going to overpay for it. Now, here's some things that I do want to tell people is once you get in, there are a lot of sellers that are saying, hey, we don't want you to, do an appraisal. We don't want you to do any inspections. do not be bullied, guys. Do not be bullied or pressured into thinking that you have to give up your rights to an appraisal, to a inspection. First of all, you probably won't be able to get past the appraisal because the bank is going to require it for financing. But the inspection, why would you get rid of an inspection to know what's going on with your house? Your future house that you're going to be living in for years and years and years. You're going to say, no, I'm going to cover my eyes and I'm just going to walk into the biggest purchase of my life, the biggest purchase of your life, one of the biggest purchases of your life. And you're going to say, I'm going to buy this house sight unseen. How much sense does that make, guys? It makes 0 sense. So do not feel like you are pressured to make the decision of foregoing inspections, because that is your right to do that. And matter of fact, you 1000% should look through an inspection. Sewer, roof, HVAC, all of those things are big item. Water heater, the list can go on and on and on of things that can go wrong with the house, and you're gonna let that go? You're gonna let that go? Well, if you do, don't be surprised if one of those big ticket items come up. But I guarantee the seller knows. That's the reason why they're telling you, hey, just forego that so we can go ahead and I can just get my money and bounce. And another thing that I'm seeing on the appraisal side is not just waiving the appraisal, but waiving the appraisal contingency. Now, what that is basically is that you're saying that if the property doesn't come in at the price that you're trying to purchase it at, then you can get out of the contract and you can get your deposit back and things of that nature. Well, if you waive your contingency, you're basically telling them that you will cover the shortfall, guys. If the property doesn't appraise, let's just say you're buying a house for $360,000 and the appraisal comes in at $300,000. That means that you are on the hook for $60,000 that you have to come up out of your pocket. It's not going to be financed, so you have to come up with this money up front, guys. Now, how crazy does that sound? I know we're going through this real estate process together. A lot of people don't have $60,000 to drop down on a house. Most individuals just have enough money to cover the 3.5% down or 3% down, whichever program that you're using. So if you're going to have to come up with all of a sudden, you know, the shortfall of that can cause an issue. And if you can't come up with it, you just gave the seller free money on that deposit. Or you could be liable to still stay on the hook for it. But more than likely, in this market, the seller's just gonna take your money and you lost your deposit and move on to a secondary buyer that they had on the list or put it back on the market, and it's gonna go fast. So sellers aren't really bothered by if you don't wanna do that. They're just gonna say, hey, I'll just take your deposit. So be very, very, very careful of that, guys. Once again, guys, I hope you got valuable information out of this video, and I need you to watch this video here. Watch this video here. We're talking about the housing market and how you can get into your first rental property. I'm gonna get you to your first rental property, guys. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.